Hey folks, Doc Toner here at urefilltoner.co.uk, and I'm here to show you the right way to reset and refill the Brother HL-L8250cdn cluster of machines appearing on your screen now. First thing to firmly imprint in the old Neo Cortex: when you see this replace toner message and your machine refuses to print, don't refill it. Hold the phone. Did I really say that? Yeah. Pin back the old lug holes, because I'm going to say that again. When you see this replace toner message and your machine refuses to print, do not put more toner in. Instead, reset the cartridge. Yeah, baby. Reset the cartridge and then use up all the toner you paid for. And there's no better time to start getting your money's worth than with the in-box toner cartridges that arrived with your new machine. So when you've got that replace toner message and you pull out the target cartridge and you see it looks like this, with a letter, in this case M for magenta, rather than a number, and a space in this barrel-shaped moulding at the end of the cartridge, you know you're looking at an in-box toner cartridge. And you're going to start by adding a reset wheel to it. Take out these 3 screws and take the end plate off, and I'm going to add a reset wheel and spring to this cartridge like this. You need to get it into this position with this square notch here. Put the end plate back on again and the wheel looks like this from the outside, which we in the profession, if you can call it that, like to call the loaded position. That's loaded like a gun, by the way, not loaded like Mark Zuckerberg. You can check that you've got this right by just pushing on that tab a little bit and letting it go, and it'll clickety-click back to the right position every time. And that baby's ready to rock. And after initialization, the printer will let you carry on printing with that cartridge. If you remember, I started this video by promising to show you the right way to refill these printers. And by the right way, I mean not how I imagine it could be done, but how my staff and I actually did it and continue to do it, combining the company's 22 years of experience since inventing the DIY toner refill in 1992 with hands-on working with the printer itself. In fact, as I'm banging on, we're using the L8250cdn as the company's main production printer, and we've printed 10,092 pages on the in-box toner cartridges and our refills. And you can expect this kind of quality. You can see here on our catalogue, which we send out to our customers. And here's our instruction booklet for the L8250cdn being printed on refilled L8250cdn cartridges. How cool is that? But what about if you get the dreaded replace toner message and on pulling out the target cartridge you find this? A reset wheel in the fired position. Not the loaded position, the fired position. Well, that's either an in-box toner that you've already added a reset wheel to, or it's a cartridge that you or someone bought in the marketplace. No bother. Still could be a shed load of toner in it, so you still want to reset it. And so it's once more onto the end plate. Whip out those 3 screws, take the end plate off, and I want you to notice this square notch butted up against a plastic structure right here. So now just lift that reset wheel just a millimetre or so and turn it back to the other side of that plastic structure and put it down again, with the square notch on the other side of the plastic structure. The spring then brings the notch to this position here, and you can check you've got it right by just flicking the flag like this and seeing if it goes back to this position, which all the teachers' pets are now dying to shout out is none other than the loaded position we saw earlier. Remember that? So question, when, pray, kind sir, do we actually get to refill one of these puppies? Answer, when one of these puppies actually fades out because there's actually no toner left in it. Now if you were a laser printer manufacturer, you just might feel tempted to imply with, I don't know, say a whopping great replace toner message that a cartridge is empty when it really isn't. And so the idea of fade out became an important idea from the late 1990s when U-Refill Toner brought out the world's first unplug and pour toner refill. But the early cases were black only printers where fade out's relatively easy to spot. With the L8250 family, as fade out draws nigh, you'll probably see that something funny is happening to your prints, but you might not be able to tell which cartridge is causing the problem, and that's the time to try printing our swatch. Stay tuned, by the way, because I give you a link to download this swatch for yourself later on in the video. And here's the kind of thing you might end up looking at, and remember I'm talking about a cartridge fading out here because there is, yea and verily, no toner powder at all left in it. Okay, the black's fairly easy to spot. If the magenta's fading, it affects both blue and orange. If the cyan's fading, it just affects the blue. And if the yellow's fading, it affects both yellow and orange. Don't give yourself any stress trying to remember all that, by the way. There's a reminder right there on the swatch itself. So I want to be clear, if your black's fading out, refill and reset your black. If your magenta's fading out, refill and reset your magenta, and so on. And don't refill anything what ain't fading out, or you'll get a visit from the toner refill police. So now just rip off the silly label, prise out the plug, shake and pour your toner in, fit the replacement plug, and again I've put 4 of these plugs into my black starter kit for this printer. After refilling, always reset as well. Alrighty, now you know how to do it. The stuff you need to do it with could come in handy. Now it's possible I could be a tad biased, but I think the best way to get airborne is with this, my dedicated L8250 family black starter kit. It's got everything you need to reset and refill a black cartridge of whatever type, plus 3 extra plugs and 3 extra reset wheel assemblies to set you up for resetting the other 3 in-box toner cartridges. To get that swatch that'll tell you which cartridge is really empty, click the second link appearing on your screen now. U-Refill Toner invented the do-it-yourself toner refill in 1992, the universally copied melt and pour refill in 1996, the Brother Unplug and Pour refill in 1999, and have never patented or sought to restrict the use of these ideas. From everyone here at U-Refill Toner, it's been a hoot and a half making this video for you. Keep refilling in the free world.